his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. And there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. Verse 17, and when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy highest servants. And he arose and came to his father, and when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran, and fell on his neck, and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven, and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servant, bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. Let's go back and revisit verse 17, shall we? And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger? This might not ring your bell, it might not even tickle your fancy, but just look at somebody for me and tell them, snap out of it. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. I don't know what in the ham and cheese is your problem, but whatever it is, snap out of it. I thought tonight while I was riding, and I looked at all these wonderful hairdos that these sisters are wearing tonight, and I wondered at the aesthetic priority that we placed on hair. You ought to know that we have over $500 billion in spending power, making us the 12th richest country in the world. African Americans collectively earn more than that money and spend more than that money than all Scandinavian countries combined. You would be even more amazed to know that more than 15% of our economy is lent toward hair care products and hair care services. African American women alone spend 3 times as much on their hair than any other ethnicity on the planet called Earth. It is even more astounding to know that we as Africans living in America consume more than 83% of the ethnic hair care market. And of that money, $81.6 million is spent on chemicalization. And of that money, $35.7 million is spent by us on coloring and bleaching. There is then something to be said about African American women and men who have placed a priority on